everybody, Ralph Havens here. And the reason it's so dark is I'm up very early, which normally I would be in my room. I'm trying to get some light and do my video for everybody. But for some reason, our internet, even with the wireless, I usually have a wired connection, but even with the wireless, it's not connecting up. And I had so many thoughts going through my head as I was doing my meditation and qigong to get ready for this session and this video for you. It's Friday morning. It's raining in Bellingham. It's awesome. And Baden and I are heading out to the mountain pretty soon to get our water and get some coffee and go to the Mixac River and hopefully visit with some friends. And you know, when I was a kid, I was thwarted. You could call it stopped completely in my tracks over and over and over and over again. And a lot of time it was with a lot of force and a lot of physical trauma. And at different times of life, if a little kid is stopped from doing what they want to do, it shows up in the body. Like if a little kid is stopped early in life, like a lot of stuff like that, even before they're born, there's a failure to thrive thing that starts to happen. And if it's in the first year or two of life, it can be a failure to thrive kind of thing, but it looks a little different, you know, not quite as weak as of a little kid. And then if it happens later in life, it can turn into anger and resentment and can drive a lot of action, but it can be at different stages. If a little kid is stopped along the way, it can have some big repercussions. And so, you know, when I'm thinking about health and healing, and you know, what I do is I help people get over autoimmune conditions, even if they've tried everything else, after they've tried everything else. And you know, I'm a physical therapist, I'm a medical intuitive, studied lots of stuff for many years. And the thing is, everybody's body is doing the best it can do. And when you see something like an autoimmune condition or some kind of chronic condition, it's a version of the person's body trying to protect itself from something. And it could be physical stuff. It could be mental, emotional stuff. It could be spiritual stuff. And what I do is I can find the cause, those kind of things, and then clear it. And then somebody can get back to being, getting their health back and getting their life back. And so, you know, Jen and I I woke up at a little before 5 and Jen was already up and she was all excited. It's super cool. Came up with some amazing stuff because our food co-op here is an amazing place. And she was looking through their newsletter and there's some amazing people up here doing amazing things. And one of the things that we found that's vitally important is your food. And you know, Hippocrates, I think, was the one that said, first make food your medicine, or make your food your medicine first. And that wisdom is they're attempting to thwart it. The pharmaceutical companies, there's so many laws now and censorship going on to where it's banned to, a lot of the natural healing sites are banned now. You can't even find them on Google anymore. If you do searches for natural remedies, they don't come up anymore in Google searches. And you know, Google's owned now in part by a pharmaceutical company. And so, so there's a lot of being thwarted along the way. And when I think of, at least here in the United States, we grew up with the idea, you know, our whole country was founded on the idea of freedom from tyranny, freedom from fascism. And I think it was Thomas Jefferson. Somebody early on said something about the thing to fear is the corporations. I think the Kennedys said that too, the corporations. And so when they take over, and it seems like that's what's kind of we're in a battle right now, where they're telling us we have to do certain things. Like for us, we find that if somebody has very specific things in place with their food, and if you want to try one in particular, try 100% gluten-free, not 99%, but try 100%, just for a week or 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and see how your health improves. and see how your joints feel and see how your body feels and see how your issues around anxiety or depression change. And it's, but it has to be 100%. And it's one of the keys. There's many, many, many keys for health. And they're so rooted in our natural way of living for 10,000 plus years as humans. But these kind of ideas are being stricken from the record. If you go to Google and search for certain things, it's getting harder and harder to find natural news sites. And so when I was thinking about it all this morning, and as my internet wasn't connecting up and I was being thwarted, it brought up like, oh, all this, like, I don't want to be thwarted. I don't want to be told what to do. I was done. That happened all my whole life. And I'm done with that kind of thing. And so that's why Jen and I are fighting so hard to make it where it's still legal to talk about stuff like this, and where it's still legal to decide what's done medically. Right now, there's laws in place in California and New York, and they're starting to do it all over the place. The liberal states, for some reason, the Democrats are saying that health is done by vaccines, by injections, by lots of them. And they have all this thing called Healthy People 2020, where the thing is to get everybody fully vaccinated and tie it to your real ID. So you can't get passports and you can't get driver's licenses and you can't get professional licenses and you can't meet in public spaces if you don't have a fully vaccinated schedule. And for us, it's like, we choose to live how we lived for 10,000 years. Humans have been around and done very well with our natural ways of healing and immunity and making food our medicine. And there's so many wonderful ways to get healthy. And when I look at people with autoimmune conditions and anxiety conditions and other chronic conditions, if you make food your medicine, but not like, oh, when food and exercise, when diet and exercise don't work, take this drug, not like that, not like just barely giving it a little cursory, yeah, I'll just try to eat a little bit better for a week. And oh, it didn't work, so I'm going to take some drugs. That's totally okay if somebody wants to do that. But there is a way to really make food your medicine. And so Jen and I are going to be doing more and more of our Miracles, Magic, and Coffee show, where we give a lot of this information out and where we interview the people that are doing a lot of that. And in our co-op, there's a lot of farmers and a lot of people doing great stuff. And so we're going to connect up very big with them and interview them and get them on our show so that you can have this kind of information. And hopefully so that you can still be in a place where you can decide how you want to live. You can decide. Wouldn't that be amazing that you get to decide what's done medically to your body, whether you get an injection or not? Whether you can eat an organic apple or not. It's incredible even to think that this is a thing that's that is trying to be pushed on us. And so, Jen, I feel it's like, make no mistake about it. We are at the biggest time in our humanity, because right now, 1 in 36 children have autism. Now there's a condition that they're calling PANDA, which is basically a sudden onset of neurological and psychiatric conditions in little kids that start around 3 years old. Seems to be associated with an infection. It's like, that sounds like a vaccine injury. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's a glyphosate injury. Maybe it's some other toxins. Maybe it's a combination. But these things used to not be around. They used to not be around. There was no such thing as that. It's not that they're diagnosing it better. That's a load of BS, man. And so, you can choose to do it any way you want. If somebody wants to take all the pharmaceuticals to try to be healthy, good for you, go do it, man. But Jen and I are committed that we can still have a choice. We can still have a choice and do like Hippocrates said, and make food your medicine first, and tune into the natural wisdom of how the sun comes in and the water and the soil and the microbes make plants, and then people eat plants, and we get that energy and that information and that health and that healing. And animals eat plants, and then we eat some animals, and then we all die and we all go back to compost, and then we start it all over again in that wonderful since the beginning of time cycle. Wouldn't it be cool if that's how we got to live and we didn't get thwarted along the way? I mean, it's getting freaking crazy. It's getting freaking crazy that a pharmaceutical company is putting laws in place where in order to go into public spaces, in order to go to school, in order to get a driver's license, that's in Argentina right now. You can't even get a driver's license unless you're fully vaccinated. And they're bringing that to the United States and to the world unless we stand up, unless we stand up. So this is a call to action, man. This is a call to action to, if you don't make a decision, you're kind of making a decision to let them make it for you. And if you're with us, tell me, let me know, comment. If you're not, tell me, it's okay, unsubscribe. But if you're with us, subscribe, share this, start to talk, start to connect up with people. And if you're interested in the Miracles, Magic, and Coffee Show, Jen and I are going to be talking to a lot of people that are using ancient wisdom, stuff that's been around since the beginning of humans, even before. And there is a way to get your health back. There is a way to get your life back. It's how I cured my anxiety thing. You can't even say the word cured in the medical world anymore. It's against the law in the United States to say that. But I feel for myself, I was cured of that. I don't have that anymore. I don't have teeth that are having problems all the time. I don't have anxiety stuff anymore. I kind of got a lot of fire, right? But man, we are in interesting times. We're in interesting times. And so if you're with us, let me know. And let's do something. This movement is happening. It's happening right now. And if you want to be part of this, join us. The Miracles, Magic, and Coffee Show. Join us in other ways. Talk to us, email us. Be part of our world. And let's get the information out that can help people get their health back and get their life back and live how they want to live and take care of the babies. So that's the Friday morning video, huh? Crazy, huh? Hope you're going to have a good day. Hope this wasn't too much of a rant for you, but it was like crazy what I've been feeling. And man, we want to stop the way the pharmaceutical companies are trying to take over control, sovereignty of our own bodies and give us a choice. We deserve that right. We deserve that right. It's a human right. All right.